The market's saturated with scanners. Every doctor has one. Prices are dropping. Digital is the default. So why are so many labs working half analog? Today, we're diving into the tech that's finally closing the gap, especially when it comes to dentures. This is Dental Tech Now. I'm Chuck Stapleton, the VP of Regional Operations here at Glidewell. First time being a podcast host. Not my first time in dental, but apparently somebody here thinks I know a little bit about technology. At Glidewell, we see the scanner revolution out there as a great thing. We have workflows in place where incoming cases are 95% of our digital workflow. So except for a few holdout doctors, we're effectively an entirely digital operation. But we are the exception. Most dental labs still have something analog going on, especially when it comes to denture and preventative workflows. So my guest today, Rik Jacobs, has been a pioneer in the 3D printing space, particularly around dentures and removables, and we're diving into some new technologies changing that. Rik, glad to have you on.
Thank you, Chuck. It's a pleasure.
So Rik, I'm going to take a little bit of an aside here and away from the technology stuff for a second. And I've worked in the Netherlands. You're Dutch, and I have a question for you about the bluntness of just sort of the Dutch people in general. And I distinctly remember like one time some executives, like I was working in the Netherlands, some executives from the U.S., people that are pretty high up in the company, there we go, came out and were delivering some message about a new plan for the organization. And so they came in, they gave their whole speech. And normally in the U.S., when somebody does that, not a lot of people say anything. They sort of save their questions for later. But the team in the Netherlands, they were all over it. They were saying, this is like a terrible plan. Why would somebody do this? Like, I don't think you guys thought through all this stuff. And it just cracked me up that they were so direct and no malice behind it. It was just like part of the culture. And so I'm just wondering, like, where does that come from? Is it something historical? Like, what drives that?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of historical as well as cultural. Our country is very small. It's located in a river delta in the northwest of Europe. And for centuries, we were earning our money by trading, building ships, sailing across the world, trying to sell and buy stuff. And on the other hand, we were fighting with the water all the time. 50% of our country is below sea level. And I think the combination of those created people who we are, very entrepreneurial, very direct and very quick acting, straight to the point, as a lot of different cultures say to us. But that's who we are. And I think we had to act in the past sometimes very quickly. Otherwise, we were flooded by the sea and by storms and stuff like that. So in the end, I think it's history and culture.
Got it. So no time to really to be nice and make sure everybody feels okay. It's more like, let's take some action and get some stuff done. Exactly. That sounds about
exactly like.
Yeah, I think that does kind of represent some of our time together. I was always really impressed with like how you thought of things, how quickly you moved on stuff when we did work together.
Exactly.
So I'm going to jump into a few questions here. So I think a lot about your history, like you've covered that on other podcasts and other interviews. So I think you have a great legacy behind you, starting Nextent and really building it up into an organization that eventually sold to 3D Systems. So I'm just curious, what was that like going through? Okay, I'm the owner of a company. We're doing something big. We're building an organization. You sell it, and then it's okay, now I'm an employee of a much larger organization. What was that like for you? Was there anything that surprised you? Anything you liked about it?
Yeah, both. So it was a great experience. We were always quite a small company, but very innovative and very focused. We were very, very close connected with the labs, the customers who were daily working with our materials and our solutions. So talking about your previous topic, we were always able to act very quick. So my strategy always was to listen carefully to the customer, labs like yours, and transfer your specific need into solutions by offering better products, workflows, and a combination of those. Ultimately, bringing 3D printing materials to the market with NextDent, I understood already from the beginning that it was not only the material, it was the printer, the material, the software, the scanning, and the complete workflow from A to Z, driving, let's say, an analog way of working and craftsmanship into complete digital workflow. So in that perspective, I was selling my materials also to a lot of hardware companies. So the combination of the hardware, the firmware and software and the material created success. It all changed when we got in 2016 the CE certification as well as the FDA 510K clearance. And most of the large 3D printing companies wanted to acquire us. And in those years, I was thinking, okay, what would be the best match to offer a complete solution to the market? And ultimately, that ended with the acquisition by 3D Systems, because together we could create a perfect solution towards labs and customers. So that was a great step forward. Also, the first years were very interesting. We built together with a team of engineers and also together with you, Chuck, a great solution was the NextDent 5100. That was never possible when we stayed independent as a NextDent company. So we made that happen. We sold an enormous quantity of machines in more than 100 countries worldwide. We created strategic partnerships, and all of that was never possible without this strategic partnership. Ultimately led to that acquisition. So I'm still looking back extremely positive about that experience. It's a great experience to have in your life, and I learned a lot from that. So all by all, it was the best decision we could make as a management team in those days.
I'm curious. So, like, as part of the that process of going out to the market and seeing other companies, was 3D Systems like the highest bidder, or did you feel like they weren't, but they were the best partner to really deliver on everything that you wanted?
Yeah. So the offer was interesting enough, but the combination of being able to design your best possible printer together with a group of magnificent engineers, the combination of all of that and the offer was the reason why we decided to sell to 3D Systems in those days. But there were also other very interesting companies in those days, but 3D Systems was the best.
Absolutely. And I left, I think, a few years before you did. The dental lab space kind of lured me back in from the technology side, although I had a great time there. But in let's see, in 2020, so your title changed for when you were there, and so was that more of like a signal from them to you or from you to the company?
Actually, I was, before the acquisition, I was an entrepreneur. And I was also very innovative and fast moving, like most of the Dutch entrepreneurs. And like you say, a public company from the US, it's a different kind of way you bring products and solutions to the market. And I was a little bit impatient. I saw possibilities, and in the end, based on my experience of more than 25 years in the space and building up such a company, I think it was a great moment for me to learn more within the company. And I got an offer from 3D Systems to become the head of the application innovation group, taking care of all the segments of all the technologies and all the printing solutions, together with an amazing team of engineers. And actually, at that time, for me, it was the best decision I could make. So partly also supporting the dental team, not leading it anymore, leading now a different group, but also trying to bring solutions to other industries, for instance, jewelry, aerospace, automotive, and defense.